I'm Tylen Hall, and today we're out here burning pastures. I'm Tylen Hall, I'm the hunter's helper. Today we've stepped outside the woods, and we're out in the pasture helping our buddy Joe Sundgren burn some of his pastures here with controlled burns. He runs cattle, and we need to burn these pastures, rid of the weeds and bad things, and put the nutrients back and fertilize a little bit and get the good grasses growing for our cattle to eat. But the winds have died down in Kansas a little bit. We've had really dry weather here lately. We've had some fire warnings, high winds, really high winds. We got a lot of trees that were down 40-50 mile an hour winds, and so we got to take this opportunity to get in here and get these burned before we have any other unforeseen weather conditions that doesn't allow us to do it, or the grass gets green already and we can't get it burned off. But anyways, normally when you start a pasture fire like this, you got to worry about other stuff around houses, tree lines, stuff like that if it's not your property, or a fire getting out of control because winds come up. So what we like to do is we like to start a back burn. The wind's already switched on us here a little bit, and Joe was at least smart enough to back burn around his entire property line. And what a back burn is you're setting a fire that with the wind, so you can control a smaller fire than you can a big fire. So you'll basically create a backstop to where it's a burnt area, so that when you light the fire and the head fire, and when it burns into it, then it burns itself out because it has no more fuel for the fire because it's already burnt out. So anyways, they had back burned around the perimeter like you should do. It's a very good practice. And then they start the head fire and let it blow into itself. But this here is switched on us 2 or 3 times now. So we're just walking around, just burning little spots out, helping it go so we don't have too much patchy stuff when we get done. So, you know, I don't know what the law actually states, but yes, it's always a good idea to contact your local fire department, dispatch center, or the fire department, and let them know that way if they get any calls, they know it's a controlled burn, because I'm sure people are calling already. And yes, another thing, along the highway, this is a property that borders a highway. And of course, in this situation, the landowner's intelligent enough to know not to burn on a straight south wind to where it blackens the highway out and creates a driving hazard. Years ago, they were burning fires up in open range area. Whoa, that got hot. Woo! Open range area up on the turnpike here by Cassidy. And this fire got so big and the smoke covered the turnpike up, created a big pile up, and injured a lot of people. So now there's flashing lights and big signs on the turnpike when you come to the Matfield Green Cassidy area that lets you know when they're burning. Well, we're just trying to hit some of these spots here that the fire didn't burn through, that wind picked up a little bit and burned the fire a little fast, or it's just patchy here and there. But just trying to get it all burnt here, kill out these weeds, give new birth to the good grasses that are getting ready to come on. Hopefully rid the pasture, stuff like this right here. But just giving it a rebirth.
Why do we do burns?
We do burns to burn back the undergrowth to the weeds and stuff like that, or bad invasive stuff can grow in more or less a choked out condition, where your grasses and hays and stuff like that need to be able to be exposed to the sun more than the weeds do. So if you let the weeds come up, or you don't burn, then the weeds come up, and eventually you get less and less grass and more weeds. Nature used to take care of this for us. Back in the days when the Indians were on the plains, the grass was this tall, and when it burned from natural causes, lightning, it would rid the plains of everything bad, especially like trees. You know, a lot of people like trees, but trees are good for certain purposes, but there was no trees here back early 1900s. Most all these trees were planted by immigrants that came in for wind and water erosion, stuff like that. But they're bad for the environment as far as for the wildlife, for the groundwater, especially the cedar trees. Cedar trees suck up a large amount of water, and just burning like this every couple of years, it just kills back the stuff in the pastures that get here from birds and animals that eat and drop, and wind carrying the seeds, stuff like that. But anyway, that's all we're doing today, is just burning this pasture and ridding it of the old, turning it into a fertilizer for it, and gonna watch it grow here, and then put cattle back on it. And see, like this right here, I think that's not good stuff for your pasture. And that's probably why it's growing here. It's rocky, doesn't get burned off good every year. So I don't know if everybody does this little patchy stuff, but I like getting it out of there. Yeah, the faster it goes, the more it's gonna miss in those little spots that they're having a break in between it. Like the stuff that's still standing there, it's got a lot of breaks between it because of the rocks. And anyways, the slower it goes, then it can blow over and catch on the top, and then burn down, or burn a little better. But the faster it goes, yeah, the more it blows over. If you got big tall grass, it'll get hot enough that it'll go ahead and burn through those patchy stuff. But that big tall grass burns hotter, of course, and then that's what kills your trees and stuff like that. But nowadays the grasses are shorter, and it doesn't burn as hot, doesn't get hot enough to burn out the trees. And we really need the trees burned out around here, especially in the Flint Hills with the prairie chicken on the decline. Prairie chicken herd, it's like something like 5 trees per square 1 mile, or I think it's square 1 mile, but I could be wrong. K-State does a good thing on that. There's a good information on a blog that they do, but it's like 5 trees, no more than 5 trees over 15 feet per, maybe it's 4 square miles, but it's something ridiculously low numbers. But now, I mean, you look at the cedar trees and stuff, how many cedar trees we got, how many trees can you see over 15 foot, and that includes power line poles, you know. So prairie chicken are on decline. We don't have nearly as many as we used to. And always watch your 6. Don't ever get yourself wrapped all the way around in this fire. Like I said, this wind's switching on us. You gotta be very careful. Now granted, we're all burned behind us here. We're keeping that to our back so that we have an escape route. That and bandanas will save you. That smoke switches, that wind switches and blows it into you. Throw that bandana on your face. If you have to, soak it in water, dunk it in a water puddle, whatever. Keep it clogged up there a little bit and keep that smoke out of there. Normally people die in fires, it's not from burning up, it's from smoke inhalation. I think that's gonna burn there, team. There's that wind switch on. Let me hit this head here.